Nubia was a tempting target for the ambitious pharaohs. There were frequent raids and retaliations. Then, around 1500 BC, the records show us that the Egyptians invaded. Their target wasn't just Kerma. They continued another 180 miles along the Nile to a place called Jebel Barkal. Mahmud and I are following the Egyptians' invasion route up the River Nile. Our objective is the same as the ancient pharaohs, the apparently symbolic mountain of Jebel Barkal.
You can see there is also a kind of feature on the mountain itself, like this very interesting pinnacle here. If you can just see from the top, like a crown on the head of a cobra.
I'm not seeing a cobra, I must admit.
You can see just, if you look at the pinnacle, on the top, this is like a crown.
That's it, okay.
And you can see just beneath this size, you can see a mouth of a cobra, and even you can, if you concentrate, you can see like a part of the eye.
I think, so we're looking at something which is sitting like that, and you can imagine a sort of dancing cobra, and on its head.
Yes.
And there's a crown.
Wearing a crown, long crown. This is the crown of the kingship.
I see it.
To the ancient Egyptians, the rearing cobra was a symbol of kingship. And here was a natural sculpture which signalled to them, it seems, that within the mountain dwelt Amun, king of the Egyptian gods. They felt that justified their conquest of Nubia, and so they built an enormous temple to Amun at the foot of the mountain.
How did the Nubians feel about the Egyptians actually being here?
At that time, the Nubia was completely controlled by the Egyptian.
It does seem a little bit like colonialism.
Exactly. It's at that time for the Egyptian, just looking at the Nubian as a barbaric savage.
Egyptian images at the time of the conquest are explicit about the subjugation of the Nubian people. They clearly regarded them as inferior.
The Egyptians, they used to call Nubia before, during that time as the miserable Nubia.
Miserable Nubia.
Yeah.
The images also make it clear that the Egyptians made the most of Nubia's natural resources and demanded riches as well as respect. Here the Nubians are bringing tribute, gold, ivory, along with wild animals, monkeys and leopard skins. And of course cattle are prominent. They even seem to have imported Nubian wrestlers to entertain them like gladiators. The people who built Kerma's magnificent buildings had, it seemed, been reduced to slaves. Or certainly that's what the Egyptians wanted everyone to think. There's a suggestion that even the name by which we know them is pejorative. The word Nuba originally meant slave.